Ah! Very well. Ah! Gloria!
Oh.
Ah! Very well. Ah! Gloria! Ah! Gloria!
Hey, listen up. Oh?
Ah. Yes!
Activating scan mode. It's no good. I'm getting an error. Oh?
Sheesh. Damn it! Oh, come on! Damn it!
Activating scan mode. It's no good. I'm getting an error.
Ah.
Hello there.
Hey, listen up.
Hello there.
Hello? Activating scan mode. Master.
Hello there.
Oh? Hey, listen up.
Hello there.
You become quite gallant in our short time apart. Go on inside. Everyone is waiting for you there.
Ah, the man of the hour. This must be a sign from God as well.
Didn't you decide you'd stop saying that from now on, Mr. Hugo?
That certainly was a lengthy trip. I would never have completed it had I been short one leg instead.
Welcome back. I take it you collected the Great Spirit of Spite without mishap? Burroughs told me of your success. I had Director Hugo and the Commander appeal to the public, so my own task has been fulfilled as well.
Isabeau told us that the bedrock covering Tokyo is going to be removed. I never thought that would even be possible.
The legends make Tokyo out to be a fell place, but this is not so bad. Perhaps it's only in my imagination, but this doesn't feel like the first time I've been here.
This entire city is a mystic relic. We shall make great strides in our research.
Those mystic relics are common knowledge for us Tokyo folks, you know. If you want to stay a scholar, you better start boning up on stuff like your life depends on it.
Then I shall begin by researching wine.
You seem to have quite an enthusiasm for the subject, Mr. Hugo. Very well. I'll treat you to a bottle of my precious Romanée.
Tokyo is a treasure house of alcoholic relics as well. I would love to partake of them.
How many years has it been since we drank without worrying what the future holds?
Here, I'll work up some appetizers for the drinks. Don't mind me helping myself to what I can find in the shop.
This is different from the atmosphere I scanned in the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado or in Tokyo. Anyway, congratulations on completing the quest.
Very well.
I think that everyone will get along splendidly, don't you? But we should be going. We have an appointment with Masakado to keep.
Well done in accomplishing this feat. By your actions, man has wrested back their own world. But keep this always in mind. Man is a creature that repeats its mistakes. A day will come again that we must fight. This is but a brief farewell until then. Now, bring the great spirit of goodwill and the great spirit of spite to me.
He is gone. Now the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado and Tokyo will become one. Look!
Everyone came back. I'm so happy.
My dear human, I am revived. It is all due to your efforts in granting hope to everyone. Tokyo will be restored to its former splendor. See, it begins. Thanks